Why do we have European name? Why do we have the colonial's name? It made sense. Why do I have a French name? Look at my beautiful black skin. As a man, how can I walk to my children, to my family, and I have another man's name? That means I'm his slave. The only way they did this was they used religion. That's the only way they manipulated you to change your name. Because you go find me an Indian person who has their names. Even the British went and colonized them. Rawishka, Petal, the Prime Minister of the UK. Google him. He was an Indian man. Prime Minister, he has an Indian name. Do you know how powerful that is? Who has gone to hell and come back and told us the kingdom of heaven is at hand? Heaven and hell is here on earth. You do something bad to someone, you live in hell. Trust me. Heaven is here on earth. I'm with my family, having an amazing time. Doesn't have to do with money or think. No, I'm here. I'm cooking for my family. I'm staying home. I'm not leaving. I'm drinking my whiskey. That's heaven here on earth. This is your time to take charge. Be accountable. You can live a life of legacy. Do your purpose. Have fun. Enjoy life. But take your African name, because that's the beginning of your legacy.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. The other time we had Mr. Sugira Rubasha here on our studio. We discussed on how he discovered his identity. And of course, each and every month we've been having series of conversation with him. And today I'm privileged to have his son here. Brother, welcome on Mzwa Kibao TV.
So, my name is Sugira, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came. It's a beautiful studio, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome. Now, maybe you can take us through your life. Who are you?
Okay. So, my name is Sugira Rubasha. I was born here in Kenya, and we left to Australia when I was 3 years old. So we left to Australia when I was 3 years old, and we came to Australia. I remember just being a little kid, and we were really looked after when we came to Australia. There was actually a pastor in Australia. His name's Mr. Brown. He actually just recently passed away. So he brought us in, and we had a place to stay, So mum had loved flying, so she worked for Kenya Airways back in Kenya. So she came to Australia. That was what she was doing. And dad, he had fled from Rwanda, the war, came to Kenya, was living, and then in Australia he was also just, we need to now raise a family. So yeah, that's how it started.
Now, you growing under the guidance of Mr. Brown, may his soul rest in peace. Now, how was it growing under him, like a religious leader looking after you guys?
It was awesome, man. Church every Sunday, going to church. We used to have camps. So we used to go drive 3 hours away, church camps. We read the Bible, and we had great mentors. So it was just fun. It was, where I was learning English. See, that's why you see, I say nalewa Kiswahili, lakini tuongea kwa shida. Because mom used to speak in Swahili, and then because we're learning English, tuongea English.
So when you went to Australia, you were fresh from Rwanda or from Kenya?
Kenya.
So you are still speaking Swahili.
Marketing is all about storytelling. Dad, when we first started this business, what did you say to me?
I said, yes, we do a podcast.
Why?
Because I want to tell our story.
Why?
Because I know the story builds a legacy.
Builds a legacy. And that is exactly what we do here at ETS Rubasha Media. We market your story on social media so you could build a legacy for those who come after you, to build your business and your personal brand.
Yeah, follow us on our platform. Go on our website, etsrubashamedia.com.
This is about legacy, and it is about showing up on social media every single day, because if you don't show up, your competition will.
Not really, because I was 3 years old. So mom would talk in Swahili, and then, as a child, you understand. She's like, takupiga kichwa yako, just, so you understand. But then I'm there learning English. So then I reply in English, and then sometimes they'll talk in English. So because at the age of 3, it was not really talking Swahili. Parents never and dad never really spoke to me in Kinyarwanda. So even sometimes I feel a little bit bad when I meet Rwandese and they're speaking Kinyarwanda.
But you can't speak.
I can't, or even understand. So Kenya, at least when they're there talking in front of me, I understand everything. But Rwandese, I can't. So
up to now.
You
don't even know how to greet your fellow Rwandese.
I do it like Nimeza, Amakuru, but apart from that, boom, it stops there. And it's like my dad never really forced it upon us. I wish he did, because I'd love to go. When I played for the national team for Rwanda for football, and I was there and I'm in camp, and it was good because they'd all come and speak to me. But like, they're all laughing and joking, they're all talking, and I can't.
You're getting nothing. How does that affect your life, especially when you are meeting your fellow Rwandese?
Yeah, you feel like, oh man, like, you're in Australia, I would still say at that young age, you just feel out of place, because there's many white kids and then you're the only black kid. So around there, you little feel out of place. And then now, even when I come with Africans, they see me as white.
Yes, but at the same time, you're feeling out of place because you can't speak the same language with them.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, when you were in Kenya, I know you are very young, 3 years old. You can just tell us, what did you guys believe in by that time before you guys went to Australia?
See, Dewey, I don't know. I was too young. I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
All I remember is in Australia, church. That was the main thing. We'd go play football. I was football. So go playing football in church. It was fun, like church, and it was good. Mr. Brown swimming. Yeah. You see, it's true. A lot of black people, they can't swim. Me, I can swim. Hey, I learned 6 a.m, wake up, swimming, So he used to take us go and swim activities. So church was my life, and I was embraced in it. I remember growing and still doing my life, and I wanted to be saved. In church, they always talk about being saved.
Being saved, being
so
born again.
They give you the Bible verses. Jesus says you have to pray, and he's going to wash away. I used to pray that prayer every day.
So now, your father, I know maybe it's something your father brought into you, because when your father is alive, is the elder. When he says left, definitely. As a son, you have to go left. Now, your father believed that there's no Christ and God lives within us. Now, what's your take on that?
Well, yes, he does believe that. And when I was about like 18, 19, I used to travel to Europe. So I used to play football, live in Sweden, and I used to read books. And there was one author I came across, and his name was Neville Goddard. Everything you see my dad say is from Neville Goddard. So even before my dad came onto this belief, I was reading Neville Goddard's books, and I would read the books, and he would say that you are God. And me, remember, I've come from a Christian my whole life. I tried to be saved. I used to try to be saved. I tried to be good, but it was hard. I wanted to sin. I used to even just swear sometimes, just thank God, because I just wanted to sin, but I used to try to be
not to
Christian.
sin.
Yeah. I tried to be a good Christian, just the way the Bible shows me.
Yes.
Anyway, so I started reading this book, Neville Goddard, and the reason why I was reading it, because I wanted to be the best footballer I could be. I wanted to be the best footballer. And to be the best footballer, your mind. All the best players you see today, their mind is stronger than everyone else. So you have to train your mind. So part of training my mind was reading. So Neville Goddard, he brought the concept of you are God. Anything you see in your imagination, you can create in reality. You see yourself playing football on the field, scoring goals. You can create that. You are God. What does it say when God made the world? Let there be light. He spoke and it was done. How many times do you speak and things happen in your life?
Several times.
Several times?
Yes.
What about things that you've imagined?
Sometimes they come true.
So I, as a kid, growing up in church, I used to fear of hell and heaven. You don't fear heaven. You want to go to heaven. Those were the biggest fears. So I always grew up thinking that God was like a man in the sky.
For sure.
I always used to think like, man, the guy in the sky is watching me, Imagine. But no, that's what God is in you. Anything that you do is bad to someone else. People say, a God is watching you when no one sees, blah, blah, blah. No, you're watching yourself. When you do something bad, when you go to sleep, you struggle to sleep at night. Say, why did I do that to that person? Why did I talk to that person that way? Why did I speak to that person? You see it. So when Neville Goddard, he started to use the Bible in the book, showing you that the Bible is even telling you that you're God. But the way they translated it was, you black people, there's a God in the sky. That's what they did. So the white people, they said, there's a God in the sky.
Yes.
You're going to go to there's heaven, just be good, be good for the God. And they knew that they were like that, but they discovered, no, we are gods here on earth. So yes.
At what point did you agree with your father in whatever he believed in? As much as you are also reading the book, and of course, he was also reading the book.
So those journeys were like that. When I used to read that book, that was like 20 years ago. It was when I was I was 18. I'm 30 years old now. So it was quite a while back. And even him, by the time he started reading these books, it was later on. It was during COVID. So with this whole thing, yes, Dad would talk to me about as a child, you are God, and I just kind of ignore him. He just keeps saying, you are God, you are God. And I'm like, I know where you're reading the book from. So it's like, but I get what you mean. So I, it was kind of just like, yeah, cool. But then one day I was walking up to my room, and then he said, he used to say my old name. He said, Sugira, I'm removing my name because I thought, why do we have a European name? Why do we have the colonial's name? And he said it to me, and I stopped, and I'm like, he's right. What the fuck? Why the fuck do I have a French name? Straight away, it just made sense. It made sense. Why do I have a French name? Look at my beautiful black skin. I have a French name. He said, we should change our names. I was like, I didn't argue. When I bring this concept to people, they argue and they fight me and they say, oh, you're wearing clothes or you speak an accent. Your name. As soon as he said it, I said, he's right. Straight away. And then as soon as he said it, then my mind started to say, holy shit, the only way they did this was they used religion. Oh. That's the only way they manipulated you to change your name. Because you go find me an Indian person who has their names.
They don't have Christian names.
Indians.
Yeah.
Even the British went and colonized them. Indian, Rawishka, Petal, the Prime Minister of the UK. Google him. He was an Indian man. Yeah. Prime Minister. He has an Indian name. Yeah. Do you know how powerful that is?
Yes.
Indian name.
Yeah.
Arabic people. They also created Islam. Go find me somewhere in Dubai, in Saudi, someone there, his name's John or Michael or Matthew or Eve, Joseph, Daniel.
You find Muhammad.
Why? Pride. It just made, as a man, how can I walk to my children, to my family, and I have another man's name? That means I'm his slave. That's basically what that means.
Africa, we were being given names after someone. Maybe someone was doing good to the society or to the family. Now, when he died or when he is still alive, people will honor him by naming a newborn after him. Maybe we were given the Christianity name after people who did good in Bible stories. Because like Joseph, when you're being called Joseph, definitely, you're the father of Jesus. So now, in your point, you changed from a French name to Rwandi's name, right? Now, what was the French name and what does it mean?
The name was Eve, Ives. And it's so crazy because I think about it now. I used to walk and people say, what's your name? Eve. And then I'll be like, it's a French name. I would take pride of a French name. And that's exactly why they did it. But anyway, it was Eve. And then what was your question?
The meaning.
I don't know. Exactly. How am I supposed to
know? Now, the Rwandese name you're having right now, do you know each meaning?
Yes. I actually put it in ChatGPT. So Sugira means someone who's wise, someone who's very wise, and someone who thinks about legacy.
Wow. Now, when you guys were now deciding that right now, we don't believe in Christ, we don't believe in Christianity and stories behind it. Now, was Mr. Brown still alive?
Yeah.
Did he know about, since you grew through him, you grew in his hands, in his care, and now you are changing from what he believes in to what you believe in. Yet he was there when you were growing, he held your hand at some point.
I never brought that conversation to him. Sometimes he'd come and say, you're going in the ways of hell, and, and I just say, yeah, because that's his passion, that's his purpose in life. So whatever I say, it can even sound like it's the worst thing you could potentially say. I don't know. So we never had that discussion. It was always about how you doing, life, family, good. What are you doing? I'm doing this. Like we never even had those conversations. So I never went to church, so I never really saw him in church. But it was the odd times he'd come over. So that's it.
No. So after that, you guys were still, when you meet, you can still chat.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, have you ever regretted making that decision? Of course, leaving Christ and now.
To be honest, only when I come to Africa. Like even like, for example, I'm with my partner. What I'm saying here is like, even that's where like conflict arises with when it comes to these conversations. So the only time you feel it is when I come to Africa, because over there, Muzungus already know it's not real. That's why they don't go to church anymore. So Muzungus, white people, they don't care about it. That's why you see Christians, do you think they fight Muzungus? They don't care. So yeah, not over there, but here you feel it.
So you're trying to confirm to me what your father told me when he was here, that in Australia, a larger percent of people, they don't go to church.
No, only immigrants, Africans, of course, is the Quran, the Islam. A lot of Africans, they switch sometimes, but anyway, a lot of Africans go Islam. Christians, yes, they go to church. And even a lot of kind of African young people my age, I don't know. I think I've seen some women talk about, women it's a bit easier, but I'm not too sure. Yeah, white people, they don't go to church. Like the churches, I went to a church to record a content because I do marketing like what you guys do. And I went to the church and it was all old white people. All old white people. All. And it was just like 20, 30, that's it. They come, see their grandchildren.
Just to see their grandchildren.
Yeah, just social, like, yeah. Like, it's not, if you look at the population, not many people go to church, no. People are working, or Sunday.
Yeah, people are working.
Cost of living.
Yeah, it's high, so they have to work. Maybe cost of living, that's why they changed. They don't want to waste a single hour on a Sunday.
People are working. People are working every day. Even a lot of Africans, they're from Kenya, they go to church, but sometimes you're working Sunday, your boss tells you you're not going to go to church.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, people don't go to church.
You'll have to work. Now, when we are saying that God is in our mind, now, who controls when you are doing bad and when doing wrong?
So, like, when we say, like, you are God, I'm not saying that I'm the creator of this earth, I'm the Alpha or Omega. Now, God is in your mind and you are God. We have dominion over this earth. Now, I've been in situations, things have happened where it's out of my control. I didn't do anything, but there's been a favor in my life. But that's also my mind, because my mind has been thinking about this. Sometimes it's not even my mind. Something can just happen. So that's the divinity. I don't know what we call it. That's what God is. God, you walk outside, I was in Mombasa, the sand, the water, that I feel God. So in terms of around my life, I can't explain what I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, who runs your life?
Who runs my life?
Yes.
I run my life.
How do you run your life?
I wake up, I have things on my mind, my God. So every voice that we all have, all of you guys here have God in your mind. Maybe that's how the Bible can translate it as the Holy Spirit. Your God is in your mind. Your God tells you to do this. Your God tells you to do this. It could tell you to do something that maybe you don't want to do. Everyone has a God inside their mind. So that's what runs my life.
Now, you're saying that maybe your mind or your God is telling you something you don't want to do. Now, when you're having a conflict of making decisions, when you think you're going to do this, but now God in your mind tell you like what you're going to do is bad. When you make the bad decision, how will the God feel?
How does the God feel?
Yes.
It feels bad.
How will you know he's feeling bad?
Because you just feel it. When you do something bad, you go, oh, why did I do that? And then that's it. You learn.
Why are we still waiting for heaven? Because I know a larger percentage of people in the world, they're still Christian, they believe in a certain religion that drives them each and every day. Now, we believe that when you have done something wrong to someone, the people who are waiting on the judgment day, how God will judge us. But now there are people who are saying, malipo ni hapa duniani. Everything, every good or bad thing you are doing, you'll be paid here before you die. Now, why do we still believe that there's God in heaven and of course is watching over us and is going to make the final judgment of everything we are doing?
Yeah, that's how we've interpreted it. In the Bible, this, which has a lot of wisdom, I think Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You can Google where that verse is. As I said, I know the Bible quite well. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. What Jesus was saying was, heaven and hell is here on earth. You do something bad to someone, you live in hell. Trust me. Someone who murders someone, he sees that in his mind every single day. He's in hell, but he's on earth. And that's what I'm saying. Muzungus, they knew this. Heaven is here on earth. I'm with my family. I'm, having an amazing time. Like, I just lost my father-in-law, Mr. Osur. And, I used to hear amazing stories about he used to cook every weekend for his family. That's heaven. I'm in heaven. I'm cooking for my family. Doesn't have to do with money or think. No, I'm here. I'm cooking for my family. I'm staying home. I'm not leaving. I'm drinking my whiskey. That's heaven here on earth. So yes, you do something bad, you will feel hell here on earth. There's no something outside of you after. Who has gone to hell and come back and told us? Has anyone? Have you heard someone who's gone there?
I've heard some people have died and resurrected, but they've never told us what happened, what they saw.
And they never permanently died. So even them, there was drugs in the system. You're unconscious, you're in a coma. So I don't know, whatever, no one's gone to hell and gone to heaven and come and told us. So where do we get it from? And who wrote the Bible?
Bible says God instructed few people in the Bible to, write the Bible.
He instructed a few people.
Yes.
Who did he instruct?
The likes of Paul, Moses, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there are a lot of people in the Bible he instructed.
Paul, Moses, Peter, John.
Yeah, they contributed in the writing of the Bible.
Did any of these people that So this God came. So did he come down here on earth, or he told them in a dream? How did God?
I think the Bible says only one or two people saw God face to face. Right? Now the other people, he was appearing to them. Like we are sitting right now, then someone appears in front of us. Now write this, and this.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's interesting when you say it out loud to hear it. So to a few people, only a chosen few people, not some other people. So then God came like to them in a dream, and then he's like, hey, you should write this. So God told them what to write.
Yes.
And all of the people that he told, their names were Peter, Moses, Paul, John, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Were any of those people named Muhammad that he?
I don't know who contributed the writing of Quran.
No. I'm talking about those guys, Joseph, John. Do any of their names Muhammad?
No.
No.
Yes.
Any Indian names in there?
No.
So the people that God spoke to were they Muzungus?
I'm not sure if they are Mzungus.
Who were they?
They're human beings like us.
Yeah, so were they Africans?
I'm not sure.
I haven't met many like Africans here. You go, their traditional name is Matthew. Never. So for me, what that sounds like to me, it sounds like white men. Matthew, Mark. When I think of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Michael,
They're white.
that's a white man. So the white men wrote this book.
So all these people, they are white people.
Well, that's what I presume. I remember growing up in church, and I used to see the images. I always used to see a white guy.
I remember in my village at this point, those people who are used to sell picture of Jesus, but these days I don't see the picture oftenly because I don't know what's really happened. I don't know if people have realized that was not Jesus. Because I also remember in my home we used to have a very big picture of Jesus when he was crucified and things like that. So when you enter the living, you know, no, that's Jesus. This is a Christian family. Now, the picture was, Mzungu, like you are saying, but now, what if the names were maybe a sub-tribe somewhere in Africa? They were Africans, and of course, maybe the community, everybody died. Now, nothing continued from the community. That's why we decided to, inherit the names. That's why missionaries decided now, you guys, you have to inherit names from your forefathers who died long ago. The likes of John, Matthew, and the rest.
Like I said, Muzungus, they're so smart. It's the smartest book I've ever seen. Of course, you see those images of Jesus. You see how powerful that is?
Yes.
You always have to think someone to save you is a white man. And then also why you might not see a lot of those images anymore, because even in the Bible, they expose themselves because, see, they're business people. This is all business. So because in the Bible it says you're not supposed to have any images of thing, but they create white images for you. So this story that you're saying, it's forefathers, which forefather? No, our forefathers have our Luya names, African Kamau. Again, my late father-in-law, I spoke to him, before he passed away, and he was telling me about Luya names. He said, Akini means born in the morning.
Yes.
Anyango, I think born in the afternoon. Atieno, these are our traditional names. There's no traditional African person named Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. But if I can give you my name, I'm taking away your identity. What's the first thing when you're born, you're given? Your identity. They give you your name. So I think like the Muzungus. Do you know how I think like them? Because even when my dad told me, about the name, I thought he's right. Yeah. I can't be the most famous person. I'm going to be the most famous person in this earth. Sugira, I'm going to be a legend. I cannot have a white person's name in front of my name. I failed. You all think about all these footballers, all these celebrities. At the end of the day, you walk in the building and I'm a white man. You have my name. Think about if a white kid came to me and he told me his name was Kamau, I'd be like...
Yeah, you'll be surprised. How? Who is your father?
I'd be like, I feel proud. Like, I feel he has my name. Or an Arab person. Have you ever seen an Arab person with an African name?
No.
Arabs to have that's the lowest of the low. But you'll find Africans with their names.
Yeah, you'll find, sure.
So, yeah, it's about legacy. So Muzungus knew when they enslaved us. You see, what's the president of Kenya? What's his name?
William Ruto.
What's his first name?
William.
William was those white guys who used to, with his belt, and he used to beat, come here, nigger. Come here, boy. His name was William. And they knew when we die, we want dominance. You see why we speak English everywhere?
Yeah.
The English went to dominate.
Dominance, okay.
Because they knew when they were dead, their descendants will be benefiting till now. They come into the I'm into Kenya, the British thing, you have my name. Get the fuck out of here, move, give me what I want. You have my name. The Mzungus knew from then to do this, and it's a cycle. It's so genius.
Maybe so it was their idea to help us, communicate easily. You're from Rwanda, I'm from Kenya, we are speaking English. Maybe someone is from Zimbabwe. I don't know which kind of language they're speaking. But now when he can or she can speak English, you can be able to understand each other. But now let's say, now I speak Swahili, I'm in South Africa, then, they don't speak Swahili. It could have been hard for us to understand each other. That's why they brought a universal language that's going to help us communicate.
No, it's about power. The English just went and colonized everywhere with English. Adolf Hitler, if he would have succeeded, we would be speaking German.
Yeah, sure.
If Adolf Hitler maybe would have won, we could be speaking German.
True.
The English they just won. They went and colonized as many people. Yeah. That's why some nations speak French. You see in Africa, usually Africa's quite colonized French. There's, countries, but French have died out. But even the French were very powerful before. I said I had a French name. So no, it's not about that. It's just about the British were just the ones who colonized very powerfully.
Now, how did these names interfere with our life? Because if we have seen a lot of people who are very successful using Christianity names and English names. Now, at what point did we realize now their names are affecting us?
Yeah, like my favorite artist, Young Dolph, a rapper, he said Rich Slave. He named an album Rich Slave. That, yes, all these Africans, when you have a white person's name, you're a slave with money. President of Kenya, you're a slave. Yes. If you have another man's name, you're still my slave.
Wow.
So it doesn't matter how much money you have. You walking with my name. That's why sometimes I see so many great people and Africans, and then I look at the name, and then even for white people, they must be so proud. No matter how big you guys get, bro, you have my name. Michael Jackson, Michael. I went to a church and the guy said his name's Michael. He knew. I said, what does your name mean? See, Muzungu, he knew. He said, Michael, it originates from Scotland. The Scottish. Michael's a Scottish name. The Scottish, they colonized, So they give people. So Michael, all these big people, Africans, you come big, but you have someone else's name.
So now, if we are going to change our names right now to African, to our community names, like you are talking about Akinyi and Aching and Anyango and the rest. Now, how are we going to benefit from then after changing the names?
Because when you change your name, you understand who you are. Right? People are always going to do silly things and crazy things, but when you know who you are, then you treat your brother and sister because you know they're also God.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. I came to Kenya,
yes,
and there was a protest.
Okay.
Was there a protest?
For the fuel? Yes.
There was a protest.
Yes.
Now, I'm doing business. My partner said, hey, Sugira, you can't leave the house. There's a protest going on. I'm like, okay. Protests that are happening, even in Australia, there's always protests going on. Okay. Wow. Oh, it's not safe for you to leave your house when there's a protest. Why? Yeah, people can hurt you. So when you don't know who you are, when you don't have your name, you don't know who you are, you will go and hurt your brother and sister. You will go and damage your country, which puts down the economy. Restaurants are closed. People can't do business. Who wants to travel? You want to go, you're hurting your own brother and sister. So the country falls down. That's why Africa, you can't compare. The streets are dirty. You can't see that in Australia. The government, they don't go to church. They know who they are. So that's why when they get money, they can't steal the money for the people, for the streets, for the country to run and put in their pocket. They know we know who we are. So things spread, and that's why you see it builds. So when you don't know who you are, you don't know your identity. And when you don't know your identity, that's why you see Africans who are Muslim one day, or usually they're Christian one day, then they're Muslims the next. Only that happens to Africans. You can't see that happen with Muzungus. Go try to tell a Muzungu his ancestors built it. I know who I am. My name is Michael. I have pride. Michael's a Scottish name. Why would I remove that for Muhammad or... No, and I'm going to give my children John and think, because we know what their names mean. Muzungus know what their names mean.
Yes. So at some point, when religious decided to change our religions from maybe from Christian to Muslim, from Muslim to Christianity. Now, by changing your name in favor of your current religious, how does it affect us? Because I have a Christian name. When I decided to switch to Muslim, definitely I'll have a Muslim name. Now, how does that affect us?
How does having switching names affect?
Especially from the religious way.
It's just sad. It just affects you. Okay, you know how it affects us? We are just slaves to other people. So I'll give you an example. I have someone I know, he went to prison. When he went to prison, there was someone who told him to become a Muslim. So then he told him, so when I heard about, he had told me, oh, I want to become a Muslim. And you know me, I've come from Mr. Brown. And me, I was a Christian, but I used to believe in God.
Yes.
So how can you tell me I want to be a Muslim? You know, see, that only happens to Africans. Anyway, he goes to jail, then he wants to become a Muslim.
Yes.
So I was like, why would you want to become a Muslim? It just didn't make sense. I was like, so years later, I said to him, let me ask you, when you wanted to become a Muslim, he said, yeah. Who told you? Who was telling you to become Muslim? He said, oh, he was a very nice guy. Then he said, he was Egyptian. He was Arab. So you see, they recruit. Because Africans don't know who they are and they're so weak, we go recruit him. Hey, have you thought? And then what they do is they try to use, look what the English colonization, look what they did to you. You should become a Muslim. Look, Muslim, you don't drink alcohol.
Yes.
You know, and then this African, then he becomes a Muslim. Then that's how also they use you. You're just, yes, we need to recruit people.
Yes.
If we can get you speaking Arabic, oh, the Quran,
Yeah.
it's in Arabic.
Yeah.
The Mecca, it's not in your jungle of Africa. The Mecca is in Saudi Arabia. Speak Arabic. That's why Salam Alaikum. They get you speak because we need to recruit. Wow. They know the British, the whites are strong. Wow. So they already know the whites have, you know, but now, and they've done well. Yes. They've recruited with Islam, militant. We get those black people, we get those niggas, turn them into, the way it affects us is we're just flip-flop. We go to wars for other people. So now UAE can go to Sudan and say, hey, kill your people. We need your resources. And because his name, when they're going to Sudan, to rebels, his name is also Muhammad. So UAE, here's some money. Go kill your people. Muhammad, Allah, go kill your people. They take the resources, take them back to UAE. Yes. You go to the UAE and try to tell them to kill their own people. That's how it affects us. That's how.
So in short, all these names, all this identity you are given was to give what? To give other people, to make other people superpower.
Yeah, economy. If I have a Christian name, I'm more likely to fight for who? For the British, Scottish. If I have a Christian, I'm more willing to go on their side. I'm not going to go on a Muslim side.
Yeah, for sure.
And if I'm an African Muslim, no, we're going to go fight for this side. That's why you see, and you see Arabs, they're very proud. If you see in the Quran, there's no Muzungu names in the Quran. There's no African names in the Quran. A lot of Muslims try to say, oh, Bilal was African. Imagine. All Arabic names in the Quran. Even I've seen some Africans, like Fahad, a name like that. It's not even in the Quran, but an African person has that name.
Yes, Fahad.
And then they will fight for Islam. You know, Arabics are very proud of who they are. Yes. Arabics, Muhammad. That's why why do you think there's war? Donald Trump bombing Iran, the Iran people dying. Why? Because in those Arabic people, they have pride. So they have given Africans that pride. That's why an African Muslim will kill his own brother any day of the week for them. It's economy. This is a war. Those Fahad, Joseph, Daniel, those are our slaves.
Yeah. Now, what can we do, or what will fix this? Maybe in the future we don't have to kill each other for something. What can we change? Maybe worldwide.
The thing is, religion has such a hold. You know, I'm here in Kenya. I remember I woke up, I said to my fiance, is there a concert here? Like, it was church, you know? It's like, whoa. I thought it was like a concert, you know, every Sunday. Religion has a huge impact. If we can get religion out, we have a chance. And with religion, they're very smart. They use women. That's why you see mostly women believe in these fairy tales. Yes. And because the women do it, it's easy. When the woman does it, you know, you just like, men just submit. Of course, they just follow the woman. So it has to maybe be the man to stand up and say, listen, we name our children African names. I can't, as a man, go to church these days and the way the church is run and interpreted, be there as a man, listen to another man tell me about God. I'm just too business minded. I just see it's a business. I just see through it. Now, I'm not saying church is bad. Yes. There's networking, there's family. I grew up in church. I did it. I was even thinking I might build my own church. If all these people are doing it, shit, I might as well join in. But build a church and tell people the truth. Tell people to know who you are. If when they bring money to the church, we do a membership. So we open up a stock account. So when you die, you've been coming to church for 40 years. Instead of the money just coming to us, you have a percentage goes into your stock portfolio. In the Bible, it says, for example, which has great wisdom, a man leaves his children's inheritance, you know? So you coming to church 20, 30, 40 years, you're giving all your money to church. A percentage of your money goes into a stock account. So that builds up so it can even help you retire or there. We have, you know, for the church organization, even to pay our salary, you know, and we tell people, you know, so now it becomes networking, becomes business, it becomes, so you just, if you're going to come here and you're not working, all right, come here, make some money, put it in stock, and then let's tell, how do, you know, how can we network? How can we build? You know, church is not just a building, it's everywhere. So that's what I would start. Religion, we need it.
So in short, you're trying to say like religious leaders who we call bishops, pastors, they should, you know, rethink on what they are doing with our tithes and things like that. So maybe our tithes can help us when we are over 50 old.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you're going to go to church all your life and then you die poor, then you're a fool. So like you see Mzungus with tithe, they put into their stock account. A Mzungu doesn't go to church to say, oh, give 10. He puts into his stock account for later on. So, you know, it's hard to go against the pastors because they said they'll kill me for things like this. You're going against everything in terms of their business model, right? So maybe with pastors, can we introduce that option to say, okay, hey, your members are coming to your church, that's fine. Or maybe open up a stock account for them so that the money that they're giving, maybe every person who has a money, whatever they do, how can you use the money that the church also to benefit them? Everyone has an account. We have technology. You come to church, you have an account. When you come to that account, you see where your money is going. You tithe, you give the pastor salary. So maybe you give, you know, if I'm giving 100 bob, I give 30, 40 to the pastor. But 20, 30 comes to my stock portfolio. Maybe pastors can do that.
That's a very good business idea for churches because there are some churches collecting tithes only on Sundays, over 2 million Kenya shillings, and nobody knows where the money is going. Now, you're saying if you are dying as a Christian and you die poor, you are a fool. Why did you say that? Because you are going to be criticized online. Very bad. Yes,
because your family now have left, you're gone. But now what can you leave your family? Now, there's some Christians who they have things. I'm not saying, you know, but to give your children nothing? Come on. Even me, I want to give my children something. So like, you know, there's some people who go to church all their lives and they're Christian, men who die. Okay, great. Maybe they give their children life insurance if they had it, or they have something, a property that they bought and they have a house. I mean, you've done well because you've not just invested in the church, but you've invested in, you know, your family as well. So that's great. You've done well. You don't have to die rich. I'm not saying that, but to leave your children nothing when you die and they have nothing and they're poor and you've died and you've given all that money to church. When that money you were given to church, again, like I said, a Mzungu maybe would go and give life insurance. So all that money, I'm putting life insurance. So when our dad dies, we get a payout of $1 million. All of our lives have changed, even though our dad has died.
So someone will ask, maybe, what you believe in your mind. What will your mind leave you when we live for your, you know, for your people when you are gone?
I think about that, and I heard about Mr. Brown's funeral. My family told me about his funeral. Mr. Brown was church, but the way he made people feel. You know, they told me his church was like a concert. He wasn't a rich billionaire. He was their old Mr. Brown, wears normal clothes, has grandchildren. Even he has so many grandchildren. I want to have that many He has grandchildren. His funeral was like a concert.
Wow.
That's what you call legacy. And it doesn't have to be at that scale for everyone, but that's still powerful. That my dad, when he died, look how many people he impacted. So my job is, how can I make people feel amazing? People don't remember so much what you did, but how you made them feel. I went to the movie when I arrived here. I watched Michael Jackson movie. When did Michael Jackson die?
Some years back.
Years. When I watched that movie, which I was so proud his nephew played. Imagine. His nephew, legacy. His nephew played him a role. We are still talking about Michael Jackson till today. His name, how he made people feel. His name lives on. That's what I'm doing now. My name, my family name, the Rubasha family will be up there, just the way my grandfather in Rwanda brought us up from the village. Now we're taking it to the next level. So when people see me and my dad's teachings, now African kids 100 years from now will be having African names because we started it. So that's what I think about legacy, and that's how I want to be remembered when I die. Someone who made people feel amazing, who encouraged you, who supported you, even some who hated me. Even the ones who hate me, yes, hate me. But as long as I made you feel something. Because some people just die and,
Wow. Now, talking about hate, how did people you grew up with, people around you knew you are Christian, then all of a sudden you've changed, and you believe in yourself. How did they react to that? Because I know when you are changing, you are still young, you have your age mate, people you grew up with, your friends, you went in church together, then all of a sudden, you're going your way.
Yeah, so like people in church, not really, they always loved us. Like no matter about God and all the Christian stuff, they always loved us. Yes. So like even till now, we still go to church. If they see this, they might think in their minds, oh, he's going to hell. But they still like you as a person. So the only real hate I really get is mostly the online and from Africans. I was in a WhatsApp group with a group, I don't even know if I should say their name, but they're kind of good people society. Some African Kenyan in America. I was there. My auntie Shinaka introduced me. They brought me into this WhatsApp group. Wow. As soon as I talk about Africans should take back their names, people start kicking off, especially all the older people. Wow. And that's why I say the old people will just die like that. That's why I'm not even talking to them. I'm talking to the youth. Wow. But the hate that I received, you're wearing these clothes, or you're speaking with that nice accent, and you're talking about all these bigger problems than names and God, the Bible. They're quoting the Bible, what the white man wrote. Like, they kicked me out of their WhatsApp group because it was too much. Said, no, this young man, he's exposing us and he's making people upset. Oh, my wife is upset. They kicked me out of the WhatsApp group.
Well, how are you going to change the young generations, because already they have inherited the names from their parents? Because when you are a child, don't make decisions on which name you should be given. Now your parents do for you. Now, how are you going to make, for the little guys, in front of us, to make them understand now, this is what I believe in and this is what you guys should do?
I could only speak from experience. So like, let's take an example, living in Australia.
Yes.
When I changed my name, that's when my mind blew. Do you know why?
Yes.
Because I walk in a building and I'm dressed like this, very good. Then people say, what's your name? I say Sugira. Then they all look like Sugira. And they say to me, they're trying to think, they're like, that's not an Arabic name. That's not my Muzungu name. Why is his name Sugira? Then they look at me and they say, some might say, I've never heard that name before. Or basically they're saying to me, why do you have that name? Where is that name from? I say, oh, it's a Rwandese name. That alone changed my life, because now I walk in the building. I don't know, here in Kenya it's a bit different because you might not experience what they call racism. But have you guys heard of racism? See, that's why I also learned even this bullshit of race, all those things don't exist. It's about superiority. Now I walk in the building and they see me as equal to them because I have the name of where I'm from. Everyone here has their own name. So you can't play with me. I need my money, you give me my money. I'm about my business, I'm about my business. Now the name doesn't really have, like, you are who you are, but also with me having my name, even other people see you different. You go in the West, go tell a Muzungu person your name is Kamau, Akinyi, Anyango. Go tell them that and watch your life change.
How will they react to that?
Who?
The Mzungus.
They get shocked because they expect you as an African to have their name. And they're so good. They are so good that Africans will defend having their name. So they knew, they said, we'll enslave these monkeys so much that they will fight against each other. And you know what? Yeah. If any of those other monkeys try to say, no, take an African name, all of them will kill him, just like the way they killed Jesus. Yes. They will say, no, I like my white name. I want to keep it. Even me now, I meet Africans. I usually, the M-Pesa comes, I see the Muzungu name or Arab name. I say the
last one.
And they always say, yeah. Other people say to me, oh, Sugira, when you say my name, they feel proud. Wow. They say to me, only certain people in my life know me of that name. But when they give me their name, I always use and even Africans who have Muzungu names, when I say the African name, they even say, yeah. I say, do you mind if I call you by that? Everyone says yes. It's just a little bit weird if I've had some people, even family, Annabelle, no, I like my English name. I'm like, I just look at you kind of weird, like, my name is Annabelle. It's just a British name. No, don't call me by my traditional name. Call me by Annabelle. I just like, okay. I even feel embarrassed. I just say auntie.
That's crazy. Now, as we are starting, you mentioned about your football career. How is it?
So I stopped playing football. I even to say that because I'm someone who I never quit. Anything like content, I've been doing content. You don't make money, but I can never quit. I'll do this till the day I die. So, which is in football is a bit different to business because you know like your body kind of stops. But I stopped playing, but I always still say I'm still young, I'm still fit.
Yeah.
I maybe buy a team or I do marketing for a football club, and then I might say, hey, let me play. They'll let me play, and then I still do it. But in terms of doing it like the way I used to do it before, in terms of being a professional footballer, no, business is my alley. So
why did you stop not playing football?
Because then I just thought like, I'm getting injuries, but I need to make money. You're nothing as a man if you do not have money. So I would rather sacrifice this love that I know I can keep going. I know I'll still make it. I know I'll still be very good. But then I'm looking, okay, which team am I going to go play here, getting $100,000 a year, being just another kind of slave, and then I have nothing else to, then I'm broke. No, I need to make money. So money became the priority.
You stopped everything, to go after the priority.
I stopped everything. And that's why even today people get mad at me. People abuse me because I don't watch football anymore.
Why?
Because I'm like, why am I going to watch another man play for 90 minutes and I need to make money? I haven't taken care of my mother. My mom and dad are still working. Mom's doing night shift, dad's working. And I'm here talking about another man scoring a goal.
But we watch football for leisure. When you want to relax on a weekend, you watch your team playing. 90 minutes is not a lot of time.
Which is good, which great for some people. Like if you do that, I'm not judging you. Fantastic. But me personally, I just say, can't watch another man. I'm here with my wife and kids and my girl, and I'm watching another man talking about this other man. I got to be the hero. I got to be the hero.
You have to make them proud.
My family got to look at me. They come and watch me on the thing. While I'm there, I just have, no. So when there's football going, no, I have a business to run. I have clients. My clients don't care about who won. My clients don't, business is still running. I need to make money. I need to provide for my family. So like, I might be extreme, but if I'm not making a certain amount of money each year, I can't afford to watch football. Time is the most valuable thing that we have. Tomorrow we can die. So these 90 minutes, I got to spend, if I'm going to be with my kids, let me spend time with my kids. Before I used to watch football, I'm here with my girl. I'm like, that's kind of gay. I'm watching other men and my girl's here. What the hell? So now I can never give room for football. If I'm with my girl, I'm with my shorty. What the hell?
But you can watch women football.
I can only watch women football if they're attractive females playing. Like,
oh my God.
Of course, maybe who wouldn't want if there's bad things all over the field I'm watching, I'm like, who wouldn't want to watch that? But if it's just the normal, like, it's great. Like if that's you, great. But that's no. I don't even watch a man play, so I'm not gonna go watch.
So you don't even watch movies?
No, movies I can do, but movies I see it as also an art form. Because of me, I'm going to create movies one day. I'm going to be an actor one day. If I get paid to watch football,
you can. But you can't pay to watch football.
No. Unless maybe it's a business, maybe I want to impress a client. I might take him to a football game. Maybe if the client likes this team, I'll pay for that because I know I'm going to benefit from it. But if I'm not making any money from this and I'm watching it and then my girl, I got things to do.
Now, talk to youth because that's the people you are targeting so much, of course, to believe what you believe in.
As a youth, I would just say, know who you are. Because when you know who you are, your life will change. You will walk with purpose. You will make your name come to life. You see, my name, Sugira, means someone who's wise. And I'm very wise as a young person. I'm 30 years old. Like I said, I meet many people who are old, but they're fools. So age does not come with wisdom. Because there's many old fools who go by the same program. They've been given the same church and the same thing that they've just been given all their lives. So this is your time to take charge, be accountable. You can live a life of legacy, do your purpose, have fun, enjoy life, but take your African name because that's the beginning of your legacy.
Wow. How can we find you?
Social media, Instagram, YouTube, Sugira Rubasha, LinkedIn, Sugira Rubasha, TikTok, Sugira Rubasha. I'm everywhere, Sugira Rubasha.
Wow. So, brother, thanks so much for your time. Maybe it is something we've left behind you want to add?
Just thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much, sir, for creating a time to be here with us.
Hey, what's wrong?
Bro, I'm stressed out. I'm running my business. I've got to serve my customers, but I need more customers coming in. I can't keep relying on word of mouth. Why don't you just use ETS Rubasha Media? Who? Well, with AI now, what they do is they go in, get your perfect clients, bring them in front of you. So all I got to do is run my business and he brings me opportunities. Think about it. You speak to 3,000 of your ideal customers, convert 1% of that 3,000. That's 30 people. 30 people in a room with you. Can you convert that? Of course I'll close them. I'm good at what I do. I just don't have time to be going and looking for my perfect client. Focus on what you love doing and let them bring you customers. When you win, they win, commission, cha-ching. Sugira Rubasha, huh? Yeah, Sugira Rubasha. Go and Google them, man. Come on, take it to the bank.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.